Did you know that I have not reviewed a Nike SB Dunk in about 10 years?
Oh my God, I can't believe it!
Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. This is the Nike SB Dunk Low or Dunk Pro, or it's actually the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro. In the court purple colorway, a shoe that I swore released already, and guess what? They did. It was way back in 2021. Feels so long ago, yet not. Weird. But anyways, these guys came back on January 27th. I was able to actually grab these on sneakers, believe it or not. I will say that pricing for Nike Dunks are all over the place right now. I don't really understand it. These were $115. I've seen other Nike SB Dunks that go for $125. When we go to the regular Dunks, like the sportswear variety, they're anywhere between $100 to $110, all the way up to $125 or more. Why? I don't know. I don't know if some of them are premium, some of them aren't. I don't really get it. But either way, I have said this since this rendition of the Nike SB Dunk is that these are just the best dunks that you can get. Price-wise, value for your money, all of that stuff, like what you get in this shoe is just bar none better than any of the sportswear releases. And this is a fact, okay? It's not an opinion. It is a fact. It's because there's actually tech in these and there's just not in the other ones. So what are you paying for with regular Dunks? Nostalgia. Or maybe in this case, since most people don't actually have nostalgia for the Dunk Low, you know, the people that are buying them and wearing them, it's just, you're buying it a hype. It's a popular shoe, cool colorways, they're available now, easy. It's like a pair of Blazers. You know what I mean? Just simple, clean, matches with everything, is a good cop. Anyways, as far as the Nike SB version of the Dunk is concerned, these guys are just teched out for skateboarding, but I really love these casually. I don't skate anymore. The most that you'll get out of me is some longboard action.
That's what she said. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's pretty much, you know, my extent of these go. I used to skate back when I was a kid in high school. It's kind of like my mode of transportation everywhere, to the bus stop, to the basketball court, to the parks. And we didn't have stuff like this back then. We had actual skate products from actual skate brands that were created by actual skaters. This, believe it or not, the Nike SB platform, or the Nike SB sector of Nike as a company, was created by Sandy Bodecker, which is what some people consider the SB to stand for. So it could stand for skateboarding, or it can also stand for Sandy Bodecker. He's actually passed, so, you know, rest in peace to him. Also, fun fact for those of you guys that were wondering, like I actually was, why the Air Jordan 4 was turned into a Nike SB product. Sandy Bodecker actually is the reason for that. So way back in 1989 when Tinker was creating, he actually was doing it back in 1988, but he was creating the Air Jordan 4. Guess who helped him?
Sandy Bodecker.
That's right. So yeah, just in case you were wondering why, like myself, I ended up speaking with people from the Nike SB team, and they gave me a slew of information that I just didn't know about the shoe and stuff like that, like the tech information. So I'll get more into that later. But yeah, as far as like, you know, a slight little backstory, there it is. Now, as far as this shoe is concerned, when the Nike SB line first reintroduced the Dunks as a skate model, the most that they did was actually add a fat puffy tongue, which these guys have back. There was a period of time where they had slimmed out tongues, still more puffy than a regular nylon tongue that you would see in a sportswear version of the Nike Dunk, but the more modern versions are back to, you know, puff tongue action, which I prefer. I think that they just look and feel awesome. But over the years, the shoe has kind of changed and morphed into a more skate-friendly shoe, and that's what this version of the shoe is. So if you go and look at the outsole right here, this is not a traditional Nike Dunk bottom. A Nike Dunk bottom actually looks like an Airship or an Air Jordan 1. These guys, they changed it around to where you just get greater board feel and greater traction on your board. So there's all of this radial. This is actually great for basketball. And yes, the Dunk is a basketball shoe turned into a skate shoe. But this is just a really awesome change up. Like, I know that purists might be like, hey, what the hell? But no, like performance-wise, this is a great change. I think this is awesome. This is kind of a Protro before Protro, because they were doing this long before the Kobe Protro line. Now, another one of the coolest changes that they've made, in my opinion, the coolest, is actually the cup sole. So originally there was a normal cup sole. It's hollow. It's got like weird little grids in there if you were ever to pull out a Strobel and all of that stuff. It's a very strange looking thing, but any cup sole that is hollowed out, meaning that there's no tech in it, that's what they look like. So a pair of Vans or a pair of Blazers,
You know what does a good job of showing that off? Is the Doc Martens.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it's
the
clear.
ones with the clear bottoms?
Yeah, you can see all the cutouts in them.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, and that is a great reference, so hopefully we'll have a picture somewhere. But what they've done with these newer Nike SB Dunks, and by newer I use that very loosely because about 10 years ago is when they did the change, so it's not actually new anymore. But the midsole itself is actually hollowed out, so it's still a cup sole, but it doesn't have that weird grid system in there where that was like the only source of stability and cushion. And instead, what you can see right here at the midfoot is just this black foam section. That's actually injected Phylon inside of the midsole itself. So you have a really cool system where it's a hollow cup sole, but inside of that is not just straight dense rubber, it's actually like modern foam. And again, that's just great for casual, skate, whatever, like performance lifestyle, whatever it is that you want to do in these, that's awesome. Now on top of all of that, Nike SB is known for having the best insoles ever. And I'm not like, that's not hyperbole from my end, it's just fact, it's just awesome. And these are those insoles. This is something that has been a Nike SB staple, you know, forever as far as I'm aware. So I know that they might not look like much from the top down view or anything, but when you turn them around, that's where all the tech is. And originally this is all the tech that there was. But now that they've changed the midsoles to where there's actually foam inside of the cup sole, it's just got extra layers of cushion now. So I think that that's a great move as well. So what we have here is a Zoom Air unit in the heel. It's not a thick unit or anything like that. It's not like it's 10 millimeter or whatever. It's a very small unit, but it's better than nothing. And then on top of that, the forefoot area is pour-on. This stuff is awesome. This, believe it or not, is what the forefoot of the Air Jordan 4 SB actually has in it. That was one of those things that they had stated in the press release, and I was like, there's no way that they changed the midsole and spent all that money. Turns out they weren't Jordan brand. That's literally a Nike SB product. It was so fascinating to learn. That was their budget. So it was literally a Nike SB team retooling the Jordan 4 to original specs and everything. So hats off to the Nike SB team for doing that, because you and I all know that Jordan brand wasn't wasting their time doing that. I don't know why, because it's their shoe, but hey, that's not my business. But anyways, in the forefoot of the Air Jordan 4, instead of having an encapsulated air sole unit, it is a pad of this pour-on, which is why they're so comfortable. And that's what we have here. This is directly underneath your foot. So again, Zoom Air in the back, pour-on in the front, injected Phylon inside the cup sole. Tell me that don't sound awesome. And yes, it smells awesome too. To my surprise, for the price, the materials are actually not bad whatsoever. You actually do have actual leather throughout the entire shoe, which I think is awesome, because we don't get that with regular Dunks unless it's the premium variety, you know what I mean? And I believe those are the more expensive ones, the 125 and up. Not your precious pandas, but all the other ones. Now the leather's not premium or anything, but it is actual leather. It's got a soft feel to it, which I was really surprised with, because some of the past releases that I personally reviewed, like the ones that were from like 10, 11 years ago, they had like a really thick PU coat on there, and it was for skating, obviously, so it was to protect the material, make it last a little bit longer. Sometimes it would have a heavy pebble on it, so it would look a little weird. But again, the purpose for that was durability, whereas these guys right here, I'm just kind of surprised that they are as nice as they are. I just wouldn't have guessed that. I thought that they were gonna have cardboard leather, and they don't. They still have the rolled edges around the rim right here. This is something that we actually talked about in the Ashad 2s. So that's something where it's not gonna peel the panel right off of your toe or your shoe, the forefoot and all of that stuff with all your flick tricks. There's still no triple stitching. That's something that was a skate staple with actual skate brands back in the 90s and 2000s, where there was a triple stitch line, especially at the toe, because that's primarily where the flick tricks happen. Obviously there's heel flicks and stuff like that too, but that's what the purpose of this is. So again, it's a little bit different than a normal Dunk, where a normal Dunk is a straight up cut, so you'll be able to see the materials. You could see that with all the panels in the back, but not the one right here in the toe. Another fun fact about the SB Dunk is that you can actually unlace the entire shoe and pull these forefoot flaps out, and then lace the laces underneath it, so that this is a barrier of protection for your laces so that they don't get chewed up on those flick tricks on day one. However, this is something that I've been talking about. This is where like the Ashad 2s, and I'm just kind of like, bro, what the hell? Almost every Nike SB I've ever bought has come with 2 sets of laces, because everybody knows that skaters blow through laces faster than f***ing anything, and they do come with them. So there we go. Now, one last switch up that they actually changed between this and a regular Dunk is actually right here in the back of the collar. There's actually heel notches. There's some pillows back there that are going to cup that little area of your ankle where your Achilles is at, just for a more secure fit and everything like that. I think that's great, especially for skating, because some skaters like to tie their shoes up tight, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them like to just slip them on and just go. And when you do that, you don't want them flopping around and stuff like that, so that will help with that. Now, as far as the fit is concerned, that's the one thing that I don't love about these. They do fit true to size, so that's a plus, but they also fit a little weird compared to what I remember from all of my old SBs. So the toe box area just fits a little bit like more volume or whatever around my foot. It doesn't fit as close to the foot as maybe they used to. I don't know if they changed the last over the years. I assume that they would, because I'm pretty sure they've changed factories. But for whatever reason, it feels a little bit different, at least to me. Maybe they'll break in and they'll feel perfect again. But with all that being said, what is today's question of the day?
Today's question of the day is actually sneaker related.
Thank goodness.
You mentioned the Panda Dunks, and
Okay.
I want everybody to search their heart of hearts and give an honest answer as to how they actually feel about the Panda Dunks. Because I hear so many, as you're scanning through your Instagram, the ick factor and everybody hating on these pandas. So much so that they've made me now feel self-conscious, and so I don't even grab them.
Look, a black and white dunk, it's a simple, easy to match with anything sneaker. You should never be ashamed to wear that. Wear them proudly. In fact, I can guarantee you that all of those dips wear them. And they probably paid 300 plus for them too. That's why they're mad, because them things are garbage. The materials are ass.
Not the newer ones. The ones our kids have,
the
I'm
women's
very
one-
jealous of.
Yeah, the women's premium one with the cream midsole and the cream laces. The general release sportswear version, ass, complete ass. That's what I thought was gonna be on these. So yeah, don't ever be ashamed to wear any f***ing shoe. Those people, sorry. That's a heated discussion right there. Sound off below and let everybody know to wear Panda Dunks proudly. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys on the next one. So until then, have a good one.